Okay, welcome back. This is question 45 from chemistry section in IMAT 2015 past paper. So I'll be solving this question. It says atoms X and Y form an ionic compound with formula XY2. Which option could give the correct atomic numbers for X and Y? So they've given us the atomic number. So first of all, we must know that atomic number, in other words, it's also called proton numbers, the number of protons. So in a neutral atom, the atomic number or proton number is equivalent to number of electrons number. So they're equivalent to each other. So for example, if you say the atomic number of an atom is 3 or 2, so the number of electrons will also be 2 and 3, given that the atom is in its neutral state, it hasn't lost or gained any electron, so it's not an ion, it must be a neutral atom. So this is the first thing we should know. And secondly, for an ionic compound, we know ionic compound is mainly formed from metal, between metal and non-metal. So there's huge electronegativity difference between these two species. And we know metal loses electron to form cation, and non-metal gains an electron to form an anion, which is the negative charge, and here it's positive charge. Okay, so that's the thing we must know about ionic compound. It's mainly formed between metals and non-metal compound. So now the given compounds, the ionic compound they gave us is X, Y, 2. So we have 2Y atom bonded to this 1X ions. Okay, so what we can do is that we can separate this into ions. So this will give us X with 2 plus and Y with negative charge of -1. So we know if we swap these charges together, it will give us X and Y2. So why is that? To balance the overall charge so that it is neutral compound. Okay, so if we separate, this X must have a positive charge because it has lost 2 electrons. So we have also the Y ion, it has negative charge. So there must be 2Y compounds. So total 2Y compounds to gain 2 electrons from this cation X to balance the overall charge. Okay, so these are the ions we must know. So this means it has lost 2 electrons and it has gained 1 electrons. So gained and lost. So this means if we were to construct the electronic configuration, the very simplified electronic configuration, this means that, for example, the innermost shell of electron must have 2 electrons. Here it might have 8, 8 and 8 and so on. But the outermost electron must be 2 of them. And for Y, the innermost will be 2, and then it could be anything, and the last must be 7. So why? Because it will gain 1 electron to form 8 over here, the outermost shell. So this will complete its octet rule because it has 7 at the end. So what we also know about this, that since it loses 2 electron, it forms oxidation state of 2 plus. So this must be group 2 metals, which is an alkali metal, and this Y must be group 7, which is the halogens. Okay, so these are the two atom with its electronic configuration in its neutral state, where it must have these number of electron in its outermost shell. So now we're going to reduce the electronic configuration with these given atomic number, and we know atomic number is equivalent to electron number, so we'll consider all this the number of electron in the neutral state. So what we can identify here is that okay, so let's go with the basic one. We have x11 and y16. So if we construct for option A the electronic configuration, the very basic one, so for x it will be, it has 11. Okay, so 2, 8, 1. But we need the last number of electron to be 2. So this option A is also wrong. For B, it's also going to be 2 and 1. So that's also wrong too. And for option X, option C, if you construct the electronic configuration for X, and since they mentioned 12, so 2, 8, and then this will give 2. The last number of electron must be 2. 2 plus 8 is 10, and then plus 2 gives 12. So this seems to be correct. Now let's make it for Y. So it's 9. So the electronic configuration for this must be 2 and 7. So now this is correct because it matches for working over here that the last electron number for these elements must be 2 and 7 for the ionic compound to be formed as X and Y2. So this is the correct option, option C. So that's why this will lose 2 electron, and there must be 2 Y elements, 2 Y atom to gain these 1 electron each to form the compound X, Y2. So option C is the correct option. So that's how we solve this question. Okay, so I hope you find this video helpful. Thank you guys for watching my video. I hope you find it helpful. So please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys. Bye.